You're listening to another Woodshop podcast, the okayest podcast of its type. Your hosts are Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop, and Braden Boakes of Littlebug Woodworking. You can find them as well as the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
Welcome to episode 243 of another Woodshop podcast. And not just any episode, this is the 5-year anniversary episode. That's right, folks. 5 whole years of bad puns, incessant giggling, questionable topics, and somehow we still haven't run out of things to talk about. We survived a pandemic, an inflation, a recession, 3 presidencies, or 2, and more listener questions than a Festal giveaway post. So grab your favorite beverage or just a fresh sheet of sandpaper, because today we're looking back, we're looking forward, and probably looking for the one tool we just put down 5 seconds ago. Let's get to it. Woo!
Peter, you okay?
5 years.
Baby. Yeah.
5 years.
Braden,
I've been here the whole time.
you've been here the whole time.
You've been in our hearts the whole time, Braden.
She doesn't even go here.
5 long years. We started this like a week before the COVID lockdown happened. And here we are 5 years later, 5 years dumber and
You're
wiser.
now dumber for having listened to that.
Yeah. I love that. Love that movie. But yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. Well, speaking of a fun ride.
Hey.
Our patrons are fun to ride?
Oh. You know
God.
what?
No?
Yes. It's fun to read. It's a fun ride listening to you read all of their names.
There it is.
No,
We have new patrons. And considering I wasn't here last week, thank you for holding down the fort while I wasn't here.
You were here in our hearts.
You forgot? You forgot I wasn't here? It's weird.
Oh, that was stoned.
We set up another camera, and we had a full-size cardboard cutout of you. We just thought you were really quiet last week.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't listened to that episode or watched it, and now I probably should.
Look at this guy. Doesn't even listen.
Well, yeah, I don't like your voices. Anyways, let's talk about the patrons for a moment. We got new ones, and like I said, I don't know who you read off, so we're just starting off the top here with Michelle Peterson of Michelle Peterson Designs. Pat Mayaz from Jackhole Workshop. TL Plains? I don't know who that is.
Kevin Mayaz.
Kevin Eller, Dan Gooden, and Building Jesse.
Oh.
The Man Army.
Eventually, they all come over here.
Welcome. It's been a minute since I did this, but we're going to read off the VIP patrons.
Wow.
And shockingly, this list hasn't gotten too much smaller. We have Chris Lamoureux over at Homefront Woodworks, Drew Peacock over at Evolution Custom Woodworking, the Mayor, Alex Duffy Woodcraft, Greg Bennett from Wendy Akers Works, Greg D'Ambrosio over at GTD Woodworks, Damon at BWG Woodworking, Jeremy Claybaugh, Woodwork and Weld, that is Mike Elliott. Excuse me. I'm getting a sore throat or something, gentlemen. This is not good.
Cough.
Suck it up. Keep reading.
I'm going. We got 2 Boakes and 1 Dunlap. That is Alex Adams over at Type A Furniture. If you didn't watch my stories today, you probably don't know what that's about. John Herbolsheimer over at Live and Laugh Woodworks, Jared LaPuma at LL Builds, Tyler Booth at Temecula Yard Games, Henry Luton's at Manfreda Wood. I let him touch my budget from Carbox USA. Matthew Abelman.
I'm sure there's something to unpack there.
There's an innuendo in there somewhere.
Justin Frazier from Frazier Canyon Woodworks. Sarah with Rosie's Woodshop. El Jefe, that is Jeff from Maker's Way. Victor at Women Designs. Dickens Cider.
Oh, that's a delicious cider.
It's a Nick Brim. I think he's just talking about his favorite cider. And the worst part is I never learned to read. I don't know who that is.
Is that a statement or is that somebody's name?
That's somebody's name.
End of statement. That's a long. It must be German.
I don't know who that is. They've been a patron for a long time. Huh. Since 2023. Bill Burkle over at WTB Woodworking, Malcolm at Bossa Nova Woodworks, Crafted with Machines, Ed Mancini at Mancini Woodworking, Chris at Chris Will Make, Red Leg Custom Woodworks, Justin Bailey from Campfire Woodworks, and John Grubb rounding them out. Thanks to all of our patrons. Thanks to all of our patrons. We can't do this without you. If you are interested in helping us out Patreon-wise, you can go over to patreon.com/another woodshop podcast, or you can make it easier on yourself and just go to iloveawp.com.
Wow.
Right? Is that
Wow.
correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
All right.
That's great.
Braden.
Oh, Dan.
I mean,
Well,
Pete.
I guess
I forget your names. Who's who?
That's fine. Braden, you want to talk about the giveaway? Speaking of patrons,
The secret giveaways that we talk about every
the
single week.
secret, the open secret.
That's right. Open secret. Dan has committed us to a giveaway every single month for our patron supporters this year, and so far we're going 3 for 3. We might go 4 for 4. We'll see. We will. But this week, no, not this week. This month, if you want to get entered in to win a bamboo A1 3D printer combo,
Ooh,
you can print not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 different color filament prints.
Wow.
That's right.
It's a very nice printer.
All you have to do is get entered in by being a patron on any of our paid tiers. So go sign up for one of the paid tiers. The higher up on the tierage that you are, the more entries into the giveaway that you'll get. If you want to buy more entries than just the 1, 2, 3, or 4 that you get from being a patron, you can also go to arethechairs.included.com, which is our St. Jude's page. Every $5 that you donate will get you an extra entry. So make sure you go do that. Justin Bailey won a $250 Bits and Bits gift card last month. And let me tell you, that covered 2/3 of the bit that he wanted.
He went for the biggest bit they had.
He went for the biggest bit. It's actually not a bit and bit. It's just a bit.
What is he looking at? One of the flattening bits? One of those big monsters?
I think he got a 3-inch diameter flush trim bit. It's basically, it actually has to chuck into like
a shaper,
the axle of his car. So, but they also have some other things that are less likely to rip your face off. A lot of useful stuff over there. So be like Justin. Don't be like Justin, but be like anybody that wins on our Patreon giveaway and go enter in to win. And you too could be 3D printing like Dan.
Just like Dan. And you want to be more like Dan, right?
Everybody. WWDD. What would Dan do? Dan do, what did he dum?
Dan do be doing that.
Dan doobie doobie do. Doobie dee dee. Pete?
Hello, my name is Pete, and I am here with the sponsor read.
Hi, Pete.
Well, speaking of one of our patrons, Bill Burkle from WTB Woodworking is one of the sponsors as well, and he's got that shop set up down in it's
Huntingdon
Valley. I'm like Huntingdon Valley, PA, and he's got the shop all decked out. He's got all the awesome brands that we love. I mean, everything from saw stop. So he's a saw stop dealer. You can actually put your hands on one of those saws. And if you live in Jersey or PA, you know how hard it is to actually get hands on with some of these tools. They also have Rubio Monaco bits and bits. They have Fuji sprayers, Festool, the whole like Festool setup, Lamello, MAYker jig, and more. And soon they will have Daniel Dunlap inserts and bow ties also featured at the location. So if you ever want to get hands on with those and check them out, They're all going to be there hanging up on Bill's walls. The other thing that they have just recently added is you can shop all their slabs right on their site. As more and more of these lumberyards, first of all, lumberyards have the worst websites. Can we all agree? Most of them have really terrible websites. There's barely anywhere to even get information. The ones that did have prices on there took them all down during COVID. Bill has prices. He has photos. He has what wood, what dimensions at like different locations on a wood, everything. The slab sale section is great. You can get a detailed photo of everything. I think does he even have little videos? No, I think it's just photos. And then they can also tell you where that piece of wood came from because they mill it all up there and they tag every single piece. So you can even get a little bit of history with every piece. So you can shop by width, by thickness, by type of wood. So definitely go check that out. And while you're there, make sure to enter that giveaway. The microjig giveaway is happening. It is the entire microjig lineup. It's $1,200 worth of products, literally everything they make, and two of some of the stuff they make, like the push blocks. And that is running through February 18th. So make sure to go sign up, WTBwoodworking.com/giveaway, or just go to the site, peruse around, buy some stuff, and then click giveaway. So go check them out for all your needs, either locally or online. They got super fast shipping, and Bill would personally ship and handle all your stuff. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. The amount of cool stuff he can fit into that space is bonkers, and I think he's expanding too. That's the plan. So,
well, Dan, I hope he's got room for me. I just boxed up his order today, 6 boxes. He ordered one of everything I offer, except for furniture. So it's all going to be there.
The Dunlap Pavilion section. It's going to be dope.
Pretty excited. I'm looking at his slabs website right now, and I'm like, maybe I should do a trade.
This is pretty cool, man. Yeah. It's actually really well done. And I got to be honest, these prices aren't bad at all. Like, they're really good, actually. So definitely worth checking out, especially if you're in the area. You can just pick up some of these slabs. And, of course, they have kiln drying, flattening, all that stuff on site as well. So one-stop shop, baby! Use code AWP for the exact same amount. Boom. All right, guys. Well, it's been 5 years. Dan, we've been doing this for 5 years. Breaking hearts, breaking up marriages.
It's been
been a crazy ride.
5 years.
Just dodging the IRS for 5 years. It's been awesome.
We'll talk about that.
By the way, did you see Joni's post yesterday?
Yes. Yeah.
Everyone's been sending that to each other. It's great. It's Joni Sprague. You should check her out. She always does really funny posts. And this week's was just reminding myself who I do this for, and it's just a picture of the IRS logo in a frame. It's great because it's tax season and it sucks. But anyways, back to the 5-year anniversary. It's 5 years. It kind of snuck up on me. I don't know about you, man.
It did. I almost completely forgot, but I think that had more to do with where I was at and what I was doing at the time. But yeah, it's pretty wild. We've been doing this for 5 years. I don't think when we started doing this that we thought 5 years we'd still be doing. I don't know what we thought.
There was no thought.
Yeah. I don't think there was any thought. Like, let's do this and see what happens.
I think that's what it was. Like, let's see where it goes. Ha ha ha, loosey goosey. And then, like, here we are 5 years later, and we got a Braden now. We've had some pretty awesome guests on this podcast. We've literally been doing this through, like I said in the intro, 3 presidencies, a recession, an inflation, housing market bubble,
World War II.
World War II.
Yeah.
World War 2.5. Yeah, it's been nuts. It's been a crazy ride. We kind of, in the pre-show, we're talking a little bit about, like, that first year was nuts. Like, with COVID happening and stuff, like, it was, I think we, not just us, but the community needed something else. Because a lot of us were, like, at home or in a shop a lot more.
I tell people all the time that when we started the podcast, like, we couldn't have timed it better. Not because, like, what was happening was great or anything, but people found themselves inside with nothing to do, and it was the perfect time to start a podcast where people could just tune in and listen, right? I feel like we kind of hit the perfect storm when we started the podcast.
Yeah. And it wasn't intentional. Obviously, like we didn't think the world was going to shut down.
No.
When we started on March 10th was our first episode. And it like literally 10 days later, it was like, yep, we're shutting down the United States and the world. We're all just going into lockdown. And that was a ride. Hey, it started a lot of woodworking businesses.
It did.
So, it was a lot of downs.
I would say like 75% of all of our guests, when we ask them, who the hell do you think you are? They're like, well, I started woodworking during COVID. Like, oh,
I feel like I am like AWP's uncomfortably young second wife, like the weird age gap, because you guys started a podcast about woodworking right as I was just beginning to woodwork because of COVID.
That's nice, honey. Just go over by the table. Let the men talk.
Go make me a sandwich.
You're just arm candy.
I'm just the hot second.
Braden's
wife.
just a hot piece of ass we brought on.
Braden, we made the right decision.
Yeah.
You're a good addition.
Yeah, because we were trying to hit a different demographic by getting a white male with a gentle beard.
It wasn't a gentle beard until you made me shave my beard off, and I hate you for it.
Both of your faces currently still make me a little uncomfortable, just because.
I realize
I need your facial hair to grow back.
Comes in. Yeah, I need like the beard to come back. Yeah. Well,
I saw a post that you posted today, Pete, and you had like your full regular beard, and I was like, there is no way that silly old Pete managed to grow like his weird bush beard.
No, that was
fast, and I'm here with like my dirty itchy beard. I'm in the itchy stage, and the whole time I'm just cursing you.
Yeah, I found a draft from a month ago. Oh man. But we've seen some crazy stuff happen. We've seen the community grow, and people. It's crazy how many people we've seen that used to be like kind of a staple of the community. There's always those people that are they seem to be on everyone's post. They're everywhere. They're engaging. They're commenting on every post you make. They seem to be everywhere you go. And a lot of those people are gone now. Like they walked away from social media or whatever, and everyone's got their reasons. But it's also crazy to see some of the accounts that I used to think of as like big accounts, like monster accounts. Like they did really great, or they did good content, or they grew a lot, and then they were gone. So we've seen a lot of accounts go away. A lot of content creators kind of give up on it. We've seen businesses close down, businesses open up, and
Shop Humble opened two storefronts recently.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's crazy,
and he had no idea.
Still trying to find those addresses. Yeah, we've seen some new brands come out. I feel like there's a new laser brand every week, right? That's a new one, right?
A new one just reached out to. Well, they reached out to you too, didn't they, Pete?
Yeah, just us two. They were looking at least 4 years on a podcast. And they were looking for people.
I don't know why I do this.
Braden was really, really mad.
I think. Well, if we're giving away a laser soon this year, you'll know why.
You'll know why. It'll probably be certified pre-owned. It might be.
Well, if one of us gets, or if you and I both get one, you can do content for both of us, because I'm not going to do it.
I'm not Braden. I can barely do content for me.
I was going to say,
that's true.
All you guys need to do is just send me the stuff, and I'll create all of your content.
And then we'll have a free one to give away.
Thanks, honey.
I still like the idea of stocking up. Like, if we can get a brand to give each one of us something, I'm really liking the idea of we like stash one away of everything for the rest of the year. And then our December giveaway is basically just like 47 packages.
Just
all December to remember. Write that down.
December.
You had a dumb idea that I kind of love.
Oh, yes. Yes. In the pre-show.
You want to share that?
I think that we should set up 1 month where we do our Patreon giveaway winner, we like set aside like $300 and we just buy as much crap as we can from Temu and just ship it directly to them.
$300 would let you buy almost everything.
Yeah, you said
we could
200
buy
earlier. I feel like
Temu.
300 is just getting excessive. But it's all Temu, and we would. I set one rule for it though. I said about 70% of it has to be in some way shop stuff.
Nah, 56.2%.
What am I going to do with 87
68%.
t-shirts that are all a children's small that say WUDSHOP wood shop?
But I think that's a fun little trolley like. It's like a
Go
monthly
ahead.
subscription
Actually,
box.
Here's what we could do. We could just run like a St. Jude's giveaway where it's like, hey, do you guys remember in like high school flamingoing?
No.
Oh, God.
Like
No.
flamingoing a person's yard?
Nope.
Basically, it was a
No.
fundraiser where you would donate money to this cause, and in doing so, you got to pick an address, usually of somebody that you knew, and whoever was raising the money, usually high school kids, band, whatever group, would then go at that night, and they would fill the front yard of that house of your choosing with plastic flamingos.
You just reminded me of something, and
Like all the money got wasted on flamingos. But sorry, go on, Dan.
I didn't say it
I'm
was
gonna-
a good. It wasn't like a good business plan.
I'm gonna regret telling you guys this, but I'm gonna tell you anyways
love when
because
Dan
I
regrets things.
enjoy this podcast, and I enjoy self harm.
I just got our July giveaway. It's a $300 coupon bundle on Temu, so we're good. We're good, baby.
Okay, so when I was 19, 20, I would go to the pool hall with my brothers and play pool with my brothers.
I have to clarify.
Billiards.
When you were 19 or 20, or the year was 1920?
Yes.
Okay.
And
continue.
apparently, when I shoot, I have this tendency to
Shoot.
raise my right leg up.
Oh no.
Thought it was gonna be worse. Like you moan.
No. So my brothers and my sister, they call me the pink flamingo because of that. So whenever they come over to the house, they always drop off like a little pink flamingo, like figurine or whatever, and then I gotta freaking find it. I find it like months later.
Just gonna go ahead and right click, save as. Things about Dan.
Well,
.exe.
listeners, you know what to do with that information. Go forth.
Yes. The answer is
Um,
yes.
Alex Adams
the
already,
whole-
for some reason, got a feeling he should do some kind of AI thing with flamingos. He just doesn't know why yet.
The stupid are the chairs included thing. Yeah, the listeners are already like on Facebook because I've been posting stuff for sale on the marketplace.
Yeah,
I
Facebook
will
gets
say,
stuff like months later. That's why.
I will say that Nick and Braden are the worst, obviously. Like within seconds, like they have notifications on to see
They
if I
probably
post
do.
something for sale.
I'm not saying that I
included?
do. I'm just not saying I don't.
I mean, you want engagement on those posts. You're welcome.
That's right. I'm just trying to help
yeah,
you.
I guess.
Like the only reason those videos are popping off that you're posting on the same account, huh? Because engagement in your comments or in the messages.
True.
We could send somebody 4 whole fitness racks, just like random fitness racks. Oh,
Fitness
this
rack
is
in my
a fantastic idea.
mouth.
Where
Right.
they fitness rack, huh?
Or we could send them. Let's see. What's the
That could
price
very
on this?
easily get out of control.
We could send almost 4. Oh my goodness. We could send almost 300 flags with George Washington that say "Stay strapped" or "Get clapped."
I see. I might want one.
This is going to be a nightmare for somebody, but I am going to giggle.
We might have to drop the amount to $50 just so we don't overwhelm them.
What are they going to do?
FedEx
With
truck
80
just pulls up and it's a dump truck and it just
And all the packaging is very from China. Like, you could tell
You can tell when something comes from TNA.
Yeah. It just looks different. Built different, but not in a good way.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, geez.
This is like a whole human-sized syringe.
Oh,
Okay.
what?
Oh, I don't
Why,
even want to know
though?
what that's for. No.
39.7-inch hose.
Anyways, guys, here's to another 5 years.
It's a lot of hose. You know what I'm saying?
I honestly, I cannot even imagine doing this for another 5 years. Like,
no, I'm gonna retire.
Like, we didn't even think 5 years when we just wanted to like chat
I was
with a
like
buddy.
5 weeks, 5 days.
But
I wasn't even thinking about it because I was technically a metaphorical baby.
You were still a baby, yeah. You were thinking about girls because you were in high school. So the impressive thing is, we have missed 10 weeks or something. So
No, what? By the way,
maybe a
speaking of
dozen.
that, no episode next week.
Yeah, no episode
I'm
next
missing
week. 11 weeks. But we have like missed very few weeks every year. It's usually a holiday or some kind of like travel
A
or an
MAYker event.
Yeah,
where we're doing
we're
them
physically
live?
with makers in person, at least on most of them. I
Hey.
think the only ones we've really missed is like Christmas and New Year's.
Speaking of maker events,
We'll get to it.
okay,
It's maker news.
okay.
Yeah, some big stuff dropping, guys. You
Oh.
may or may not have heard about it, but
Thick and girthy.
now go ahead, Dan. It's
No, play the thing.
Dan's been on pins and needles about
Good
this
news,
all
everyone.
day.
there you go. Now it's
Maker news.
yeah.
I would describe him as giddy.
Mm.
I am kidding.
Get out of here. All right, well, go ahead. Tell us the thing, Dan. Tell us the
Well,
exciting news.
Mark your calendars for May 17th of this year,
Why, Dan?
folks,
What happened?
because we're gonna have the Midwest MAYker meetup here in Omaha, Nebraska.
And just to clarify, it's not going to be a mid West Maker meetup. It's not going to be like just mid.
Oh,
That's
it's
what the
gonna
kids
clap
say. It's going to clap. It's mid dash West.
or slap.
It's going to
Did
slap.
they say slap
Yeah.
or clap?
It's going to be
Ooh,
bazinga.
It's gonna be fire. Let's call it Fire Festival.
No.
No.
We
Too soon.
can't
Too soon.
afford that bad PR.
Yes. The Midwest Maker meetup, May 17th, here in Omaha. Omaha has a really, really cool what they call the Makerhood, where downtown by the baseball stadium where the College World Series is played, not far away from the airport. There's a whole neighborhood of makers, wood shops, reclaimed artists, glass blowing, just you name it, it's down there.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is there a brewery there?
In Omaha,
No, in that neighborhood.
there's one fairly close by. I mean, we'd have to drive, but it's close.
Oh, okay, well, maybe not. All right, because I had a
But-
theory. You keep describing this as like this neighborhood. It's
Well, it's right next to, it's not
'Cause-
far away from what's called the Omaha Old Market, and there's a couple breweries over there.
because if there's a brewery in that neighborhood, then I know it's a terrible neighborhood. Because breweries they love buying buildings in the worst neighborhoods and just opening up the best breweries. That's just like what breweries do. They find a worst neighborhood and they gentrify it.
I mean,
So if there was a brewery there, I'd be like, oh, that's a dangerous neighborhood, probably.
no, it's a pretty cool neighborhood.
No, but it's cool. Dude, I'm so freaking stoked for this.
I've already talked to, actually, Braden and I went down to the Makerhood on Monday and talked to several of the shop owners down there, and they're all like in, and they love the idea. So we're gonna try to get as much eyes on the Omaha Makerhood and do a meetup at the same time. Depending on turnout, we're either going to barbecue a bunch of food or we're gonna get some food trucks. So I think Braden's gonna start like a Google Doc so we can get some sort of a head count. I don't know if Braden knew that, but Braden,
I
Google
got
Doc.
it.
I will coordinate something to do something. Also,
Yeah.
Pete, to answer your question, there is a Cross-Train Draft Works. Cross-Train is a really good brewery.
oh yes,
They have a tap room literally like the next street over from where we're gonna
oh
be.
really?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Oh, that's cool.
There you go.
Cross-Train is a really good brew.
We're gonna be. This is right. This is us. That's Cross-Train, right?
Oh,
Oh,
I know where the
fantastic.
after party is.
Yeah,
It's a
that's-
good thing Dan
dope.
is DD.
Dan's
You see what I did there?
Nice.
Who knows? Maybe by then I'll be drinking again. We'll see.
Event is canceled.
I'm really, really, really pumped for this, guys. Pete's flying into town, so we're not selling tickets or anything like that. We just want people to show up and have a good time.
Yeah, we're just gonna gather names so we could we know who to expect and who's coming. So we
just need to know how many Casey's pizzas to get.
Basically, yeah, it's got a lot of gas station sushi. You guys are gonna love it.
Casey's Pizza, Raccoon Chicken, all the things. I wonder if the Alpine Inn does a food truck.
I'm flying in for Raccoon Chicken.
Do they bring the raccoons with them? Or
I would hope so.
Also, I'm probably flying in either Wednesday night or Thursday night. I still got to figure that out. I think it's Thursday night, which means no podcast that week. We'll do a Wednesday recording or something.
We'll do it live.
Yeah.
Have you decided who you're going to stay with, me or Braden, or are you going to stay in a hotel? Are we going to fight over it? I don't want you. You can go stay with Braden.
Gonna stay with.
Although I'm closer to downtown.
Dan.
Oof.
Ooh, I chose Dad.
Wow.
Well, I've never even been at Braden's house. We barely know each other.
Just gonna point out,
he's got a much nicer house than me. Just saying.
I have a bar in the same room that you would be staying, and you'd have an entire floor to yourself.
Maybe Braden's house.
It's also where the theater is. So
maybe I'll stay at Casa del Brim because he's got a pool.
Yeah, but then you've got to go to Iowa, and you've got to get checked. You've got to get a medical clearance every time you come back into the state.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, we'll see.
It's true.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll figure that out.
I feel like this is going to turn into the thing that fractures and tears the podcast apart.
This one thing is going to break it up. Yeah, because I just want to sleep somewhere. No, you go sleep with him, you whore. Whatever.
Pete's
Worst
just
case
thinking,
scenario,
yay, 2 Christmases.
I can't explain to you guys how excited I am for this.
Yeah,
I'm super pumped. I hope we get a massive turnout. But
what's funny is
I'll take 5-10 people.
This trip is the trip that I've been talking about since last year this time when Dan was drowning with orders. I was like, I gotta come out and help. Then Emma was pregnant and we kept trying to plan it and never happened.
You're gonna be shocked to hear this, but I'm drowning again because I had to take a bunch of time off, and here we are.
Well, it's weird because you got 2 Boakes brothers, and you're still drowning.
Oh yeah.
So selfishly, I haven't been helping.
Oh, he's working on his project.
An undetermined height bed frame. Anyways, let's why don't we get into this?
What's on my bench? Let Braden go first.
Yeah, Braden, what's on your bench?
Well, so here's the big news, and we talked about this in the pre-show. I know. I am now fun employed.
Fun employed?
Fun employed. You get to say that when you do it yourself, because then it's like, oh, I meant to do this, not like, oh crap, I don't have a job. No, I recently realized that I needed a change from what I'd been doing. I'd been doing the same thing for 8 years. Pre-COVID, during COVID, I was in the healthcare staffing world, and so I did it, pre-COVID, through COVID, after COVID. It's been a roller coaster, and it was a lot of fun, but I wasn't getting the same zhuzh out of it that I need to sustain this happy-go-lucky personality of mine. So I decided to take another opportunity, and I was perfectly poised to take, now that I say it out loud sounds crazy, but almost a month off in between jobs. So I did that on Monday, and then I proceeded to work the next 2 days after that, which was shocking. I told them I wasn't going to work there anymore, and they're like, well, we've got a little bit more for you to do. Knock that out, and then I have a honey-do list that I have created for myself that's 100 projects long. So for the rest of this week, I am finishing up a bed frame that I told my wife I was going to make 2 years ago, because we have been living college life with a box spring on the floor. It's a disaster. We're not adults.
I'm starting to regret what I said a second ago. Maybe his house isn't nicer than mine.
No. It's just the master bedroom is undecorated. Living in the ghetto
over there.
I put all the time and effort down here where I spend most of my time. So building a bed frame, It's like a mid-century modern Therma Daniel Dunlap inspired type thing. Yeah, that's what I said. Bless you. And I'm building it out of maple and walnut to match the nightstands that I just finished. That's right. Yeah, Dan. And it's been, it's been interesting. I've decided to make it as hard as possible, based on kind of what Dan told me to do, and then I changed my mind because I wanted to change some proportions to make them taller and more different. And turns out you can only do castle joints halfway when you're trying to do a 6-inch castle joint, and you can only get the blade of a saw blade up like 3.5 inches. So
You can do it. You just got to change the way you do it, right?
I proceeded to use every single tool at Dan's place, create as much sawdust as possible because dust collection doesn't exist.
I
And
have it. You just didn't turn it on.
Oh, I know that, but I'm just trying to make Sutton's life a nightmare because he
You
just
are.
cleaned your shop.
You are.
But I've been doing that for his entire life. So
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked like he was used to it. Like he was
He-
like, "Oh, here we go again."
he kind of is. He can't really say much. He came over to my place at midnight the other night.
He did tell me that he was over to your place until like 1 or
Yeah,
1:30 or something like that.
he texts me. Okay, Sutton only texts me like when he needs something, and it's in like a very loving way. Like I'm very aware of how Sutton texts. It's always like, "Yo, bro," and then he goes into like what he needs. He texts me at the Lord's hour of like 11:30 at night the other night. "You up?" I was like, "Don't,
Oh no.
I don't like this. I don't want to be part of this. I don't know what's happening. Did you mistext me instead of somebody else?" Sutton, what do you need? Braden, I've got an idea for something, and I need to 3D print it. Are you going to be up for like another hour and a half or so? And I'm always up. So I told him to come on over, and he has created this like complex gear. Like it's like basically what it is. It's a spool holder for craft paper so that he can put it over tables and do glue ups on it. So it's
He's
glue
making something for my shop.
Yeah, he's making something for Dan's shop. Sutton and I basically spend 90% of our free time thinking of how to optimize Dan's life.
And I
We need to talk
appreciate
to
it.
somebody about it. But he has created this thing, and it has like gears on it so that it can't like back roll because of spools of paper violently back roll, things like that. And he wants to 3D print it, and so we do, and we take it over to Dan's shop the next day. It's got like French dovetail holders for everything, and try it out, and it does technically work fine.
Oh, the best
anyway,
part.
so
The
Sutton,
best part. You're missing the best part.
what was the best part?
It
I was
does.
up until 2 o'clock in the morning 3D printing something for your shop.
No. It does technically work. He put it all up. He's got it on that mobile clamp wall. And it's supposed to work with a 1/2 inch dowel, right? So he put a dowel into these gears and things, and he puts the paper on it, and he pulls the paper out, and he's looking at it, and he goes, "Son of a bitch!" Like it technically works, but there's so like much friction. The paper just rolls on the dowel. Like the gears don't.
There's no friction. The dowel's small enough that there's no friction. It's basically just spinning in place.
Yeah, the friction is in the dowel into the gears, and the paper just rolls freely on the dowel.
So it works
The gears are
exactly the same as
unnecessary.
just a dowel like screwed to the wall.
The task failed successfully.
Yeah, it works, but not as expected.
I was like,
Oh,
oh, that's something.
That's
But
kind of
Good job,
hilarious.
son.
But it's been a lot of fun. I told Sutton this the other day, and I'll deny it, although I guess this is being recorded. I told Sutton, I'm like, I'm really, really enjoying this new dynamic that we have as brothers, like because we have this making thing that we're able to connect on. And Sutton and I, Dan, you've met us both. We
Yeah.
are different. Like we
Very.
didn't connect on a ton of stuff growing up.
I would have never guessed in 100 million years that you guys were brothers if you didn't tell me.
And there's a whole other one and a sister too. But it's been really cool connecting on making stuff and like in woodworking and 3D printing, like and creating. And I'm watching him teach himself how to 3D model, and that's really, really cool because I don't get 3D modeling. Like it's I've just I got my
he's
one
asked
thing
me for help, and I'm like,
he's got his iPad out, and he's just like manipulating stuff and like changing stuff. I'm like, I think I know what the words you're saying are. Cool. I can hit print. Let's make the 3D printer work.
It's like, what do you do when you need? I ask Pete.
Yeah, I have
Pete, can you model this for me?
I use Pete AI.
It's PI.
But yeah, so I mean that's kind of it. We're going to Mexico next week, and then the week after. Here's my honey-do list: bed frame. I need to finish the nightstands that I'm like 70% done. Aretha's side is done. It just needs a handle. My side has the carcass built and it's on legs. No drawers, no drawer slides. So I need to finish those. I need to finish the bed frame. Dan, I need to finish that tomorrow. By the way.
Wow.
Or I need to get it to like the finishing stage where I can like start sanding stuff.
That's funny.
I've got to finish the kitchen island, and then as soon as we get back from Mexico, I've told myself, and we will talk about this in like 4 weeks when it's not done. I'm tearing out the built-ins in my living room and rebuilding them wall to wall.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm an idiot that hates free time. So that's my world right now. It's chaos, but now I've got more time for chaos. Do you know how nice it is realizing you're short lumber and being like, oh, I've got to wait until Monday to go pick up more lumber, and then it dawns on you that, oh, no, it's Wednesday in the middle of the day. I can just go pick it up.
Yeah, and especially considering Liberty will just let you walk in and do whatever the heck you want. And they don't like me, so.
Pete, I tested every single thing that Dan had happen to him where they wouldn't take walk-ins, they won't let him into the warehouse like while they're working, and they won't let him pick his lumber. I tested all of those. I walked in with an order, meandered around the warehouse, and rifled through the stacks of lumber, and they let me do all of that stuff with a smile on their faces. And I'm starting to think that maybe it's not.
It seems like not. I've been trying to find a factor that is in all of these situations. I just can't
like one constant
my finger on it.
People are just jerks to me.
That's true.
That's the thing.
It's their fault. It's the kids' fault.
Yeah.
The kids are changing.
That's right.
You think they treat you different because of your autism?
That's that dog.
I'm a glasses wearer.
Oh, you people are disgusting.
But yeah, so that's been my week. Sorry, I went a little long. I've got a lot going on.
That's not long. We have it's just us girls. That's it.
Well, speaking of questions, long and strong and down to get the friction on. Pete, what are you doing?
Me, I feel like I go last.
You want
That's
to pee,
so exciting.
I figure it's going to be nice sandwiching the fact that we're intersecting our lives right now. So let's a Pete sandwich. Pete's going to be the meat and we're the bread.
I am not working with my buddies in their shops. I am opening up a can of seltzer. I sprayed myself in the face.
Wait, first of all, Braden and I are not buddies.
Oh, sorry,
we're
lovers.
Besties.
We're colleagues. And nothing more.
You're lovers. I've seen the way you guys look longingly at each other.
It's hard to argue that one when we literally have a reel of us holding hands walking on the beach.
Yeah, while I was dead, apparently.
No, you were.
Since we've already fictionally killed off Peter Kapar and Nick Brim from this book, who's next?
Where did all these insurance policies come from?
Yeah, we were jokingly saying that when you come in for the MAYker event, you'll have to sign in at the Nick Brim Memorial Desk, and he's going to be working the desk, so it'll be very confusing.
You gotta read off the official name.
Yes, it's the
government name.
Yes, I have it right here. I will read it to you right now. It is Oh, AWP presents a Daniel Dunlap production brought to you by Little Bug Woodworking, featuring live performance by Petrie's Workshop, the AWP Midwest MAYker Meetup. Experience the 5th tier like you've never had before. Actually, I think we should. Oh, and then please check in at the Nick Brand Memorial counter. Yeah, I just need to copy that honestly and put it in a Google sheet.
I want it on a t-shirt.
By the way, I was working on the Google sheet and I was like messing around with the different things you can have on there, and I was like, do I put which host are you most excited about and then like our 3 names? But I don't think any one of our egos can handle being the last one.
Also include Nick Brem or something.
Yeah, I would have to. Or like Max, and because then that person would definitely
Yeah, Max is coming.
Max is actually going to be at a MAYker event. This is very exciting.
I'm going to be able to bring Maxie
What was the
boy.
name of that the host that ChatGPT thought we had?
Oh, I don't know.
Matt
Everhart.
Everhart.
Oh,
Matt Everhart.
he's dead to me.
The Matt Everhart Memorial check-in counter.
Man, so what have I done? It feels like I had a long week. For once, this week felt like more than a week, not just, sometimes we're like, oh, it's Thursday again. So last weekend I started working on all the ice climbing tools. I got all the routing done. Well, not all of it. Sorry. I got 60% of the routing done. I know that because I have 100 pairs and I did 60 pairs. Carry the 2, 60%. So I got that done. I need to get the rest of it done tomorrow, because then Saturday I have Patrick Gensel from Crafted with Machines and Jake Vance from
Crafted with Vance?
JV
Vance Refrigeration.
From Patrick Gensel?
No. Yes, from Vance Refrigeration. No, from JV Woodworks with an X now, I think. Yeah, because it's edgy. He's coming in too. It's my local buddy. He's also a patron.
Because it's edgy.
Yeah, he's also a patron and my coworker. So he's coming in on Saturday, and possibly
Is your coworker a patron?
he is. Yeah, Jake's.
Jake's your coworker and your buddy?
Wait,
Yeah.
Jake from
How
State
does that
Farm?
work?
We're also lovers.
With the khakis?
No. He's usually
Wait.
pantsless.
Jake is your Dan?
He is he's my Kayla.
Oh.
No, but like
Wow.
how Kayla is to Braden.
Wait a minute. Tell me
Now
more.
I'm
no,
confused.
there's questions.
Now I want to know more about. Never
Now
mind.
everyone's Charlie Day in front of the wall with all the string around, trying to make the connections. So yeah, I got them coming in, and possibly a third guy, my neighbor Joe, that helps us out too.
Is
I
Joe
need to
a
just
patron?
figure out. He's not. Oh, son of a B, right?
Recruit him.
Yeah, get him to that free tier. But I need to figure out if I can fit, because you guys have experienced this for the last day and a half. 3 people in a 2-car garage is actually
Pretty
a
tough.
lot of people.
Can
I mean,
you fit
yeah,
4
when
guys
it's filled with
inside,
tools.
If you're all trying to work, and if you're sanding and there's hoses running places, and it can be difficult. So even with the 3 of us, like, we would be set up kind of, and all the machinery is running. We're all wearing PPE, so like it's hard to hear each other too.
Weird flex.
Yeah,
We're wearing PPE.
safety first. But I'm gonna see if we can set up another station, really bang out. Like, I want to get a lot of work done, because
A banging station.
a
That
banging
sounds fun.
station, yeah.
Gonna set up a banging station so you can have 4 guys inside Pete's shop.
Because Dan, let me ask you this: like, when you have someone in your shop, even if it's someone as skilled as Braden,
Wait,
You-
what? Back up. Rephrase that statement.
I spent most of the last 2 days just seeing just how dumb of questions I could ask Dan.
No,
Like,
well, like, no, that was meant as a compliment, because
No.
like Sutton, you had to
No,
teach a lot.
I kid.
And then
I
the
can
guy
leave Braden
that
alone
you
and I know he's
fired
gonna-
because he liked surfing too much, right? Him too. Like, you have to teach him a lot. So obviously, if you bring someone like that, what Braden?
Dan says he's okay with, like, oh, Braden knows how to work the shop. But when he had to leave for a little bit the first day, I thought he was gonna whip out like a liability waiver, like Braden, if it's between you and the tool, like fuck up the tool, like I can replace the tool, but this is my livelihood. Like
What?
I thought he was gonna have a mental breakdown.
What's wrong with
of
that?
me running tools
I
in a
cared.
shop.
Sign a dotted line.
And I get it. Yeah, Dan cares, and also insurance like doesn't want me to die. But it was at the point where like, just for Dan's comfort, I'm just gonna glue things until he gets back. Just no power tools.
I get
I'm
that.
just gonna glue things.
So that's the thing. Like, Dan, when you bring in Sutton to the shop, now that he's trained, like, you don't expect him to do 100% of Dan's work. Like,
No.
he can't do 100% of what you're doing. Although, granted, if there's no one
He's
else in the
getting there,
shop,
though.
we're
He's getting there.
probably pretty
I've seen
lazy,
him.
right? But
I've
like,
seen
he
him.
can probably do 60% very well. He's not he might not set up the CNC or do something
Oh, he
else.
can. He's
he can.
probably
There you go.
he's
So-
probably close to 75%.
There you go. So it's more than Braden then. It's like when I bring these guys in, like, Jake's knowledgeable with woodworking. So is Patrick. They know their stuff. So when they do it, I trust them to do it 90% as fast or as efficient or whatever, because like, I know my tools, my layout. I feel like unless someone is in your shop every day, they're not going to be at 100%. Joe is like a savvy guy. Like, he knows his tools. But he's a car guy. He's an electrician. So he's not a woodworker. So when you give him a sanding job, like, what he thinks is smooth, maybe you have to touch up, right? So it's like he can work at like 80%, or something like that. So if I bring these guys in for 5 hours on a Saturday, like, I'm not getting 15 hours of work done. I'm
Right,
getting,
exactly. I get it.
I'm getting, 12 or 10 or whatever it might be. Like, I'm losing some hours here due to, them not knowing how to do it or not do it as efficiently or whatever. So
Right.
Either way though, like, if there's 4 of us in the shop working, that's 15 hours of work that I don't have to do myself, So I'm pretty excited for that. And it's going to be pretty much like every weekend this month, I'll have someone helping out at least one day just to get this job done. They're not in a crazy rush to receive these, which is great. They also they wanted to pay the second half of the invoice this week. I'm like, okay, sure, give me money. That's fine. I didn't deliver yet. I'm not mad about that. But aside from that, I got a little delayed because was it Tuesday evening, Carmine stops by with Randy Bovandy. We installed a sink and did some plumbing in the van. He's got another trip coming up. Every time he's got a trip coming up, we do another upgrade. It's kind of how we've been doing it. And he like stays and hangs out for a bit. I'm just like really worn out. An hour later, I am like out. I am sick. I have a fever. Like, it just out of nowhere, it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was laid out for the rest of that night. So I've been like sick for the last 2 days. Even now, like, my throat is sore and I'm all congested and stuff. What's up, Braden?
Did you try the only prescription? More cowbell?
More cowbell. No, but I did try whatever this antiviral medication is. I don't know.
Cowbell by Vogue.
Cocaine? Whatever. No, but
Okay.
I have some medication, but because I was sick with our favorite mono a couple months ago, I was like, oh man, a relapse. What the hell? So I thought it was like that. And I talked to my doctor. He's like, no, that it wouldn't come back like that. It sounds like you have the flu. I'm like, okay, thank goodness. I was happy to have the flu. That's the sad thing. But that delayed me the last 2 days. I have not gotten anything done. And I'm going to talk about taxes. So everyone take a nap. Yeah. Dude, we thought we were done with taxes last week. We submitted everything to our accountant. We're like, yes, we answered all the questions. We gave her all the numbers, whatever.
That's coming up, isn't it? Oof.
I got to say, I'm really impressed with my new accountant. She wrote back an essay of questions on all this detailed stuff that we had to answer. And one of them was about my car. So I bought my car brand new 3 days before the end of the year in 2023. I only used it for a couple of trips for the business. That's it. So my accountant wrote off 100% because he said that's fine. You just used it for business. Apparently that is going to bite me in the butt now because he never told me to like track mileage or whatever. He just put down roughly 50% on my vehicle use. So this new accountant's like, yeah, that's going to potentially be a red flag. Also, if you just put down 50%, IRS is like, that's literally a red flag for them. They'll see that. So essentially I had to go through, and this is just a lesson, keep all your receipts. I went through every one of my receipts that I had saved from last year, and every time there was a Home Depot receipt, Home Depot trip, 9.7 miles. Round trip is whatever, put every one of those trips down, including when we drove from home to Tennessee, Alabama, and then Atlanta for Workbench Con and back home last year, that whole big loop, 2,000 miles, all of it. And I actually got just under 50% off of just receipts. So I sent it to her. I'm like, hey, this is everything I can legally back up with paper or a calendar event or something like, we had a reservation or whatever. And so you never know. Even receipts could save your butt if and I don't know if I would actually get into trouble, but at least if anything ever came up with an audit, I can back something up. And I told her, like, listen, there's definitely been more trips. I just don't track every single one of them. So get Mile IQ if you want to track your stuff.
Mile IQ. I was going to mention that. Yeah, that's a great app.
I'm going to ask you though, can you do multiple users on the same account, like to track the same car or multiple cars?
You can do multiple cars.
Okay.
You'll have to do, you could put different cars into the account and you'll have to pick the car, but I don't know about multiple users.
Well, I might just have to because Emma needs it too for her car. So we're like, okay, let's start tracking. But if you can do multi-car, that's awesome.
You can do multi-car.
Beautiful. And it's like what, $80, $90 a year, right?
Yeah, worth every penny.
Honestly,
if you're running a business and you need to track all that, that's nothing. It's worth it. I'm
getting more and more into the category of if this is in any way to actually help me run the business, I don't even look. It's like when you're on vacation and you're at the airport and a sandwich is $15. Mm-hmm. Do you even blink? Right? Mm-mm. It's same business. My taxes are going to cost this much to do. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
And the great thing about Mile IQ is it'll recognize that you do the same drive over and over, and it'll ask you after 3 or 4 times. You do this a lot. Is this? Do you want to auto categorize this? And yes.
And do you need to start a trip, or it's just going to detect that you're traveling?
It just detects it.
Oh,
so when you sit down for the week or whatever you do, and you're categorizing your drives, it should ask you, you've done this drive multiple times. Is this personal, or you want to always automatically categorize it? Yeah. So my trips Menards, auto categorize.
That is awesome. That's actually really good to know. So there you go, guys. Get Mile IQ,
and then
not sponsored.
The more you use it, so I've been using it for 4 or 5 years now. The more you use it, the less you have to categorize, and it's all done automatically. It's so great.
Oh, that actually makes me really happy because it took me 4 hours to go through my receipts and categorize everything and figure out the mileage.
I can sit down and do my mileage for a whole year because I've done it so long now that I can get it done in 20 minutes for the whole year.
See, that's great. Dope. I'm now need to get on top of that.
Will it automatically recognize that you've taken one trip to Menards and then immediately just multiply that by a factor of 5, knowing that you're going to have to go back 5 more times? Does it do that for tax?
No, it don't do that. It won't do that.
For tax purposes, you want to forget something at Home Depot and have to do another trip. Wink.
That's why
wear and tear be damned.
That's why I rub my hands on the bottom of every single table at a restaurant, because that it's a consulting. Yeah, it's business.
Just write it off as a consulting fee. Yeah, any dinner. Okay, it's finished. Yep.
Somebody say table. Client dinner.
This is my friendly reminder again. If you don't have your taxes done yet, isn't the cutoff March 20th?
April 15th is what it's always.
I'm sorry, April 15th.
Yeah,
here in America, March 20th. It's April 15th. I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's March 20th in Poland or something.
I was thinking about Hawaii. Hawaii is different.
The time zones.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, listen, accountants are getting booked up. I don't know about you guys, but the last one I had, if you didn't have it in by a certain time, by a deadline that we didn't know about ever, it would basically automatically get put onto what is it?
Request for extension.
Extension, yeah. And you have to pay for that extension. They're going to charge you for it. They'll pass the costs off to you. And this accountant, at least, like very clearly sent out a thing in January, like, you need to get it to me by this time, otherwise it's on extension. So she's great. I'll find you a good accountant. We still have to break up with the old one.
I never get any of that sassy talk from my accountant.
Braden's his own accountant, I think.
You do your own TurboTax, right?
I do my own taxes with TurboTax.
Crazy.
See, as soon as I never used TurboTax, but now, especially with the business, I don't think I'd ever want to touch that.
Well, I don't want to. I just said I do. I do it. I don't want to the entire time.
Yeah. So, anyways, do your taxes and live long and prosper. Dan, what's up with you?
Oh, well, how much time do you got?
We got probably.
Dan's doing his 2023 taxes this year.
First of all, I was gone last week and I couldn't go to Workbench Con.
So sad.
Let me get this out of the way. My father-in-law, my wife's dad, he fell ill and he passed away. And we knew he was going to pass away. That's why I didn't go to Workbench Con. And he did. And then last weekend was his funeral, his celebration of life, whatever you want to call it. So that's where I was at. I was out of town. I got a bunch of good messages on Instagram and Facebook and all the socials and text messages. And I really, really, really appreciate this community. So thank you to everybody who reached out. I didn't tell a whole lot of people exactly what was going on, but some people knew. However, back to woodworking and making. I fell a little behind because of all that stuff. And one of the things that kept me from working on orders was the family asked me to make his urn, which kind of caught me off guard, but I was also like super honored to do so. So I did that. Was that last week? It was kind of a rush job because like I think they asked me on Sunday and it had to be ready to go by Thursday. So yeah, but it came out pretty nice and I got a lot of good compliments and stuff, which made me feel good. So did that. Back to regular stuff. Orders are piling up. They're just off the charts crazy. I was talking to Pete and Braden about this. As everybody knows, I do a lot of selling on Etsy. That's no secret. And I've talked about how I do an Etsy ad spend, and I raised it up almost 50% of what I was spending before, and it has paid dividends. And it's crazy. I kind of want to raise it up again, but at the same time, like we're back to struggling to keep up with orders and everything. So I probably shouldn't push it too much. Speaking of orders, I finally got Bill Burkle's order done for WTB Woodworking. My stuff is going to be in his retail store in Huntingdon Valley, Pennsylvania. The boxes are going out tomorrow. His order was 160 items, almost one of everything that I sell, not including furniture. So that's going to be in his store probably the beginning of next week, I would imagine, or whenever he has time to put them up. I think he was telling me that he has to find space for it because, as Pete was talking about, it's not a huge retail space, but what he's able to fit in there is pretty impressive. So if you're in the area, go check it out. Or I think he'll even list them on his website. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he mentioned that. So WTBwoodworking.com. What else? Oh yeah, Braden's been in my shop. That's awesome and fun.
Getting that whole family like that.
Really loving the tone of voice that I'm hearing.
The Boakes brothers are like
he's
doing like a hostile takeover, I feel like, at this point. They're trying to do some sort of eminent domain situation, I think.
I think it's M&M domain.
M&M?
The rapper?
Or is it B&B domain?
Listen, it's exactly what I did when I convinced Aretha to start dating me long term. I just started bringing my stuff to her apartment, like her TV. Like I just replaced it with my own TV because mine was bigger.
But you mainly take stuff out of his shop.
What?
Is
Do I
Dan
need to go in there and
Are
check
you
stuff?
are you moving Dan in with you somehow? But he doesn't know it yet.
I think it's
I've got-
also the same thing you did with Sawdust Talk back when you took that over.
I've got room in my shop for 2 table saws, Dan.
I know. Your shop is bigger than mine. I know. For now.
I just like being with my friends. I
No,
have time.
I enjoy having you over there. It's fun.
I would not guess that based on this conversation. Dan.
No,
Maybe
I
we
do.
need
I
some time
enjoy it.
apart.
And I enjoy the fact that, as we touched on a little bit ago, that Sutton is to the point where like he can do almost everything without any guidance from me, which is nice. About the only thing he doesn't do yet is he won't touch the router table. I think it's just he knows it's
I could understand that
a
one.
hand biter and he doesn't even want to touch it, which is good. If you're scared of something, I don't want you touching it.
There's no
Man.
PPE to help protect
No, there's
against
not.
the router table.
I mean, there's gripper blocks and all that stuff, but I think he's seen something get thrown out of my hand once, and then I've showed him the video that is popping off again on Instagram. Anyway, he's not proficient with the laser, I don't think. But I don't do much with the laser. I just cut out bow tie templates, so
He
we don't
gets
have a
the
whole lot of
CNC.
laser
That's
work.
not a big leap for him. He'll get it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that big of a leap. I think he could do it. Like Braden was talking about, he's teaching himself how to 3D model. I mean, he put Shaper 3D on his iPad, and he's teaching himself how to 3D model. So that's really impressive. He's a smart guy. He could do everything without me, probably.
Would you say he's the smarter Boke's brother?
Oh, he's 100% the smarter box. I
Attaboy.
mean, there's no question.
He understood the
There's no
assignment.
question. Braden, do you have anything to add, or?
No, we should move on to questions, I guess.
Politely and respectfully, the fuck.
No.
I mean,
So that's
you're
been my,
the one that's married. Clearly, he's the smarter one.
That's true. That's been my whole week. Up into the. Oh wait, no,
No.
I glossed right over it.
We're doing
Guys, I'm back in the YouTube. I'm back into the YouTube game.
Oh yeah, you
That's right,
made
you
a
did
video.
that.
Come on. I dropped the shop tour video, and Sutton and I just got done shooting a video for this week. I need to put some final touches on it, but hopefully I'll have it uploaded and posted to the YouTubes before I leave for Colorado on Sunday. So Braden's going to Mexico. I'm going to Colorado.
Wow.
Mexico of the Mountain Time Zone.
I mean, there could be a podcast next week, but Pete's gonna have to do it alone or with Morgan.
Just me and Morgan
Apparently
Hop.
he's a good
He's a good time
guy
to be
have
had.
on. So yeah, that's it. I think finally, go check out my YouTube channel. I just passed 10,000 subs.
Yay!
It's really crazy because what was it that you were saying today? A YouTube video a day all the way till May?
Yeah, I remember you saying
didn't
that.
say any such
And
thing.
You said that.
You
and
die by that one because it's rhymes.
Yeah, you ordered
Don't like
all
that.
those T-shirts that said it. And it was. I mean, I
From
thought it was
Temu. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna be the wrong side. They're gonna be pictures of T-shirts.
They're gonna be like Morgan Hop's pickle shirt from Five Below, where it shrank in a wash. The second it hit water, it went down 2 sizes.
But it didn't shrink in on the x-axis, just on the y-axis.
Yeah,
Sure.
they shrank on a Z. If you know what I mean.
Nice.
All right, I'm done. Let's go to questions, please. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I just thought of when we were hassling Stone when we first saw him at Workbench Con. And he's like, yeah, I gained 15 pounds because he's been working out. And we just were being
Oh.
degenerates.
Oh,
But it was funny. We'll tell you.
I
after
remember
the-
when that happened.
We'll tell you when you're older.
We'll tell you.
I
when you're
can't wait to go to Workbench Con next year.
Ask your father. All right. I guess
It was
let's
his butt.
jump
15 pounds in the butt.
that donk.
Mm.
Donk. Okay. So
Questions.
questions. It's this one, right?
Go, Black Betty. Ram lamb.
Yep. Haven't changed it yet.
Why would we? It's perfect.
Remember that one episode?
It's been
we
5 years, Pete.
We had a guest on, and we're like, it all sounds AI generated.
It's not. It's my beautiful angelic voice.
Speaking of beautiful angelic voice, oh, never mind. It's just Adam Alex. Adam
Alex's.
Hey guys, what should be part of your spring cleaning this year? Whether it's something that needs to be clean, organized, or just is overdue for some maintenance.
Bro, actually, he does have a pretty velvety voice. I'll give him that. Dan gestures broadly with his arms to everything.
Yes. Thank you for.
Why don't you kick it off?
Yeah. Everything? I mean, actually, Sutton and I just cleaned the shop pretty good not that long ago because, I was like, hey, we're going to do this YouTube thing. It's got to look somewhat presentable in here. I don't want to get too many comments talking about how much of a pit my shop is. So it looks okay. One thing I would do is move benches and tables that don't get a whole lot of movement usually, because I guarantee you there's like a bunch of sawdust under there, and that is a potential fire hazard. So do that, because I certainly did.
Braden?
Dan started a fire is what I'm hearing.
We didn't start the fire.
I have
wait,
a fire
Dan
extinguisher.
did. Oh my God, put it out.
On the same kind of path as what Dan is implying, I'm a really big fan of the, as soon as it gets warm, pull every single thing out of the shop.
That's hard to do in my shop, and you know why.
I've done it in your shop,
But I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's hard to do.
Honestly,
because of the hill.
Yeah, if you didn't have a driveway that was at a 45-degree angle from your shop, it'd be.
You live in Nebraska where it's flat.
Dan has all of the elevation changes in the whole state.
I do,
but I'm a big fan of doing that. Unless you're like really, really, really happy with how you've set up your shop and you've just completely optimized it, which not many people can say that they've done. Pulling everything out gives you a chance to really deep clean everything, and put everything back in a reimagined fashion that can a lot of times help optimize your processes, because we get working on the same sorts of projects and we just kind of make do with how everything is laid out. But when you've got to put it all back, you could be like, well, if the joiner was over here, I keep doing these things and I go from joiner to table saw, I should just put it there. And it gives you an opportunity to do it without having to feel like you're taking away from everything else, because it's just part of your spring cleaning. So
that was a good thing that Sutton brought into my shop. I'm choking to death on my own throat here. He brought a fresh set of eyes to my shop, and he started questioning things like, why do you do it this way when this way would be way more efficient? And I'm like, stop asking questions, Sutton. Do your job.
Not
Anyway,
looking to change or grow or be better.
Yeah. What the hell is this?
The other nice thing about having everything pulled out too is if you don't need that radial arm saw, don't put it back in. Just post it up on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, I missed the golden opportunity.
I can't believe you got rid of that thing.
I got rid of the radial arm saw and the floor standing drill press that I got, and it was a really solid drill press. I'm not sad about the radial arm saw. I'm sorry, Tony Vokes, my dad. It was my dad's radial arm saw, and
it was a family heirloom.
Yeah, sure.
You a heartless dick.
Nah, he brought it back from Thailand.
He pawned off the radial arm saw into my shop after telling me, I'm getting rid of this. Do you want it? And I thought, oh, cool. Dedicated dado machine. Never once plugged it in. Didn't turn on. It had one of those wobble dado blades, and I'm not trying to die today.
Illegal. You could have just put up an actual dado stack in there.
Shut the front door. I'm not looking to grow as a person.
Oh, but I have to, apparently.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
What the heck?
But if you've got everything out, it's so much easier to just list it on Facebook, put some stupid get it gone price on stuff, and then you don't have to haul it back in, and then you'll have so much room for activities.
Sure.
That's it.
Hey, speaking of drill presses, I got one that you need to take home one of these days.
One out, one in.
Dan, have you not gone into your front entryway today?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think he
Oh,
stole
did you
it.
take it?
I took it. That thing's the heaviest box.
I
I've
told
ever seen
you
in
it's
my life.
85 pounds. I'm not
Yeah,
joking.
we
It's heavy.
couldn't have shipped that.
It's dense.
I hope. By the way, I need content, so if you don't mind, make some
I'll
content.
put it
for me.
together.
This Vivor is like down my throat about.
I'd say I'd put it together tomorrow, but I just moved it from where I'm going to be working tomorrow.
Right. You should have put it together and put it right next to my Menards drill press.
Same drill press, different paint job.
Ooh.
Hey.
Be cool to see, like, when they do the videos where they just hook up two drills to each other and just
But do the whole
But
drill
do it
press.
with the drill presses.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
God.
we
Can you imagine?
regret this. It's destroying everything. We
Oh,
just
I
have
guess
Takes
it
to-
was
out a whole
It
neighborhood.
would just hit like the arms and then that's it.
it somehow
You remember
breaks
the-
free, and Kayla comes and like hits the garage door open, and it just opens up to just chaos everywhere.
Do you remember the video of the guy like back in the 90s that like stole a tank and went on a rampage in like San Diego or something like that? It'd be like that.
There was
You guys are looking at me like,
It was
all right.
I lived in
in the
Poland in the 90s where we had real tanks rolling through the streets.
Sorry, did I wake up a core?
No, I mean, they're
Awful
mostly
memory.
like for like parades and stuff. Like we didn't have like active occupation. I don't know why would you assume that?
it was inactive
You're
occupation.
inactive.
Anyway, Pete, what do you do to spring clean? Because you're filthy. Like your whole shop's a
I am
disaster at
a
all
dirty
times.
little girl. I am, yeah. I don't open my garage door in the winter.
1995 San Diego take rampage. It's a thing.
Yeah, search it. Tiananmen Square in San Diego.
No,
I mean,
World of
why?
Tanks,
That's
sponsored.
history. Unless your VPN's set to Beijing. Anyways, so I kind of do the same thing. I try to take out whatever I can. The problem is most of my shop is not mobile, but all the stuff by the door, or a lot of the stuff by the door, is mobile, and it's my favorite time of the year because I just open up the door and I blow out whatever I can out of the shop. I just put the mask on. And of course, afterwards, I have to do a lot of TLC to the laser because it just coats the mirrors and stuff. But
oh,
yeah.
you reminded me of something.
So
Exactly.
I need to like blow out the shop. The problem is right by the door, there's always like the sides that catch all the dust, right? All the dust bunnies and the leaves. So that's the tools that roll out, and I'm able to really get in there and clean it
Roll
up.
out.
And blow out all the tables and stuff. And I actually had the door open today. I went in there and I just like opened a garage door, sat there for like 20 minutes. I'm like, I'm not cleaning anything. I am too exhausted to do that. I'm still recovering. So I just enjoyed the fresh air coming in, and then it started getting cold again. I'm like, all right, forget this. But I'm really stoked to just like have the sun and fresh air coming in there while I make noise. I can see why Dan works like that all year round, except I couldn't do it all year round. It's just, I want to be comfortable. So spring and fall are it's my bread and butter, man. I love it.
I'll shut the doors when it's -20 outside.
Shut
You
the door.
gotta get that sun. Gotta get that vitamin
Yeah.
Dunlap.
That's right.
Vitamin D, the double D, vitamin DD. But yeah, main thing is just like they said, get anything out that you can, and get into like clean out inside your table saw. Look like inside your joiner. Take the compressor hose and like blow it into your machines, because there's stuff that's coated everywhere. A couple years back, my table saw I was like having a really hard time raising up, like crank the crank that raises up the blade. Turns out I had cut acrylic and it was just like coated on the shaft or the screw.
You
So
had
when I
your
rolled
shaft.
over it once, it just like crunched it into the grooves. I had to get in there and like as soon as I blew it out, it popped off, but it wouldn't pop off on its own. Damn.
Did you know, fun fact, the groove is in the heart.
Wow. Bring
You're
on
welcome.
the groove, bring on the funk. Dan, when I was saying about blowing out the mirrors and the laser, you had something to say.
Oh, yeah. I had to cut out a bunch of clear acrylic templates for my bow ties, and I also sell barbells, but like nobody ever buys them. But Bill Burkle bought every one that I buy or that I make. So I had to cut out like 12 acrylic templates, and it wasn't cutting. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? It turns out I needed to blow the dust out of the machine. It was
I
pretty
bet.
bad.
Well,
Yeah.
when you blow it out, you also
It doesn't cut so well when the mirrors are coated with dust.
take a Q-tip with alcohol, like spray alcohol in there, and just clean the actual mirrors.
Oh, I reach in there with my t-shirt and do that.
I hate you so much. Yeah, I do. Because your body oil is bad.
I do the same thing with my cameras. Just
The other thing I will say, I hate daylight savings with a passion. It was just this last weekend. It's the dumbest holiday. I know it's not a holiday, but like it's the dumbest thing ever.
I would
Then you-
rather have this time than the winter time.
Well, it wouldn't change. It would just be this time all year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
want it to stay this way.
So, but I will say this: it is one of those like pivotal points in our life twice a year that I have gotten in a habit of like, this is when I change the filters. The 3-month filter on my water or whatever that I definitely changed there's times that I'll be like, oh, it's been a year and change since I've changed this. So I try to also apply that to the shop, and like actually clean out my filter on my Laguna. The Laguna dust collector, the one on the ceiling, Dan, it's so powerful. I feel like that thing has to be caked solid for it to actually not work. So definitely blow that out, take the filter out, do some maintenance on some of the tools, oil some things. Like it's a good time to clean stuff out. So yeah, take that twice a year, do that, drain the water in your freaking compressor. You know who you are. It's literally, it goes to everyone. Drain the water in your compressor and just change the filters. That's all you have to do. Right. That's it.
Fun fact, if you let water stay in one of those pancake compressors, it turns into buttermilk because pancakes.
All right, next question is from
You're welcome.
as a bad pun. We did mention the bad puns in the intro. Next question's from Sarah. She called in because her initial voicemail was rough and we picked on her appropriately and she fixed it. So here it is.
In the pre-show.
Yeah, the pre-show.
In the pre-show.
Okay, so my question this week. This is geared towards more like girly stuff that I'm working on my personal page. But how do you price out? I know you guys have talked about like certain stuff before, but whether they're giving me free stuff, discounts, but I've also been asked about monthly packages and like contracts and stuff, doing multiple stuff with them. So how do you guys price that out normally for content creating?
So who wants to kick it off?
I'm going to be perfectly honest. If a brand wants me to make content for them and they want to pay me, I pull a number out of my rear end that feels acceptable. There's no magic formula for that.
Yeah.
But you could also, well, I guess she is doing that. I was going to say you could also reach out to people in the community and see what they charge, and that's exactly what she's doing.
Us. She's doing that. Good advice.
Brands that want me to give them content for just product, sometimes I'll take the product, like the Vivor drill press. I kind of wanted the drill press because I was trying to collect stuff for the giveaways. But anyways, that's besides the point. I will do that for content only, but they get the content on my time when I have time to do it, because I have other things that are pressing. If they want to pay me, then I will put them into the rotation a little faster, quite a bit faster, actually. So that's how I handle those. Your mileage may vary. Don't think that what I'm saying is the be all end all. So PD, you do brand deals and stuff.
Well, yeah, and her question was also with vendors, like with, let's say,
maybe I misunderstood.
A freedom-based lumber company, like let's call it Liberty Hardwood, right? If they were like giving you a discount, like how would you work that out too? And I mean,
Oh.
the main thing is,
Yeah, that's
like-
a horse of a different color. I'm like, if a lumber company, I mean, that's something that I use constantly. So yeah, I definitely do a discount.
so if, how would you price some of your, like if they're offering you a discount, how are you pricing, your services? And I think she's doing content services for some local businesses and stuff like that.
Oh,
But the brands questions, it's literally the same thing with brands. It's just that's the product is a product, not a service or a discount.
right. I mean, some things you can't do without the product, so it doesn't matter.
I think
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
For me,
I'm not good at that stuff.
and that's the thing. That one of the hardest things you could do is equate a value to something that isn't tangible. It's
Yeah,
not a tangerine.
you just got to figure out what your time is worth, I guess.
Like even when we work with brands as a podcast, like they can, and essentially I'll tell you how we work with brands for the podcast. I won't give you exact numbers, but I'll kind of give you an idea. We give them
hell you will.
we give them the metrics. We describe the deliverables on both sides, what is expected. And a lot of times when it's, especially with brand deals, if you're looking at stuff like that, when you get into some like bigger brands or whatever, like if they want, if there is money involved for something, the item's not even part of the negotiation.
Oh,
it's,
right, yeah.
It's in the contract. If you want me to talk about this thing, that's not the payment. You are sending me the thing to talk about it. I think that's very important. That's where a lot of people get lost and like,
Yeah, you can't talk.
that-
You can't verifiably talk about something unless you've used
Yeah.
the thing.
I had a brand reach out recently that I was interested in working with and create some content, and there was there's value in the relationship, and I still might try and work it out, but by the end of the conversation, it was hey, we would love for you to create this and this kind of content, and we'll set you up an affiliate link, and in exchange for those deliverables, we'll give you 20% off the product.
That's immediate.
And I
delete.
said politely and professionally, lose my number. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just
I get
the
I get those
product
emails all the time.
is like you said, Pete. The product is a non-negotiable. Like I can't talk about something if I don't have it, and unless I was already buying it, I'm not buying a product to create content for you.
right.
And listen, I've done it with like Laguna. I've worked with them for a major discount off of a tool, but then I gave them a YouTube video for it. This is when I was young and dumb. Last year. I'm kidding, but like 6-7 years ago, whenever it was, because I really wanted that first laser, and I didn't have the money, but I could afford it with the discount. So I did it for a YouTube video. It was 2 YouTube videos for like 40% off or something. And that's, now looking back, it's like, that's ridiculous. Like that.
But that also saved you like $5,000.
But it
Right?
saved me like $1,000 to $2,000, something like that.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought
So
it
like
was
it
quite
did.
a bit.
It's still back when I was like really getting started, that was big. So plus I wanted to get my foot in with Laguna. They're like, cool big
Yeah.
boy tool brand, right?
I want to get my foot in with Laguna too, real quick. Laguna, your Resaw King blades suck.
Fix it. Fix the welds. Fix the welds. Mainly
I
it's the
guess
welds.
that might get my foot out with Laguna. Sorry.
I can't watch Dan physically assault his bandsaw again. I can't.
Yeah. But the main thing you have to think about, actually going back to like, okay, so the contract part of it, and it's short. It's just like, here's what you'll get from me. Here's what I like you will deliver. It's not an ask, it's whatever. You just write it out like it's implied. And then you give them a price for something. It's like, okay, here's the regular price. Here's your discounted rate. And it's really whatever you're comfortable with, whatever the value loss there is worth for you. And then maybe a bundle deal is like, hey, I'll do, if you're talking about content for someone, I'll do 10 posts for you, one every 2 weeks for this long, and it'll be roughly this much a post. Bundle deal is this much. Normal cost would be $1,000 or $2,000, but you're going to get it for, $500 for implied major discount on this. but that's only if it makes sense for you. Now, if something's truly a discount, or you, for example, if it's a tool trade, if you really want that tool, you know, like I really wanted the hose reel from what's the company?
Giraffe Tools.
Giraffe Tools. I was almost like Gorilla. Giraffe Tools. I wanted that, and we're gonna be working on like the outdoor hose, retractable hoses and stuff like that for the garden. But anyways, I wanted one of those, and I reached out to them. The thing costs like $100-something bucks. They're like, "Hey, can you do a video?" Like, sure. And I kind of took my time with it, you know, whatever. But I got it, and it opened up the door, and they sent me the vacuum. They sent me some other stuff, and like the relationship's there. So I was like, okay, they're long term. Like I can crank out. I was gonna do a video on it anyways, just for the content. But it's nice to get a free product for that, right? So there are times that it's worth it, even if your rate is $500 per post or more. You're willing to do it for less if it's like, you know what, it's just my time and I can work that into my work. So it's a really hard question to answer.
Wow, Pete, just my time. That's the most valuable part of all of this.
Yeah, it's just some scraps in my time. That's why his cutting board's only $20.
Time scraps.
Yeah. It's time scraps. Yeah, finding time scraps to work on it. That's actually a great way to put it.
Now available.
Can I get a box of time scraps?
Instead of honestly, that is a great way to put it. It's projects that you can work on in between other stuff. It's just time scraps that you put together, and boom, got this thing. Braden, you got anything to add?
I mean, I kind of dropped some opinions in there. You touched on this, like it's so hard to like set a rate as a content creator, because end of the day, this is all nothing. Like this is all made up. This is a made up job.
Yeah.
If you feel me, like what is any of this? So the one thing that I will not do is I won't create content to a brand that reaches out to me if their expectation is that I have to buy the product. Like I'm not going to buy it.
No.
I don't care if it's for a discount. If they reach out to me, it is provided. If it's
I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
There you go.
I would do it for meatloaf though. If it's something big, like you talked about the laser and getting like a big discount off the laser. If it's something that I'm shopping for already, I mean, that's kind of different. Like, you know, there is value, because if you're saving, you know, $1,500 or something, you can equate that to getting $1,500 worth of value for that time. So set a price and then just be super flexible with it. But, you know, long-term discounts, things like that, you know, if it's something that you're using a lot, great. If it's something that you don't use a lot, a long-term discount, even if it's a good one, it does you no good if you're not getting it. And it's kind of like finding stuff on sale and being like, well, if I don't buy it on sale, I'm losing money. You're not. If you weren't going to spend that money anyway, you're not saving money. You're just spending less money than you would. The same thing kind of goes with working with brands, working with companies, like working with anything. If you weren't ever going to look at that product or look at that brand or any of that, you're not saving money. Like you're not making money. You're not being a content creator there. You're just working out kind of discounts on stuff that you didn't ever know even existed. So figure out what your time is worth. Be flexible in how that time can kind of be held in, like, I don't know, different measurements, like math, you know, do math here. And
yeah,
you know, and every now and then, let's be honest, we all do it. We were all smaller content creators at one time. My time happened to be right now.
Stop.
Sometimes just having the box show up on the porch of something that I didn't have to pay for, it just makes me feel special. And sometimes
Ride that high.
Sometimes that's worth the 30 seconds it's going to take me to whip together a time scrap reel and post it. So I don't know. Make it all up.
Bottom line is every situation is different or could be different. And this is all made up, like Braden said. You just have to find something that you're comfortable with one way or the other.
Unless you're a brand trying to get sponsored episodes on AWP, we have a rate sheet and it is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
At all times. rock solid.
And if you get a discount, it's because we like you. And that's the thing. We still work with brands. Like, I get a discount through Total Boat and an affiliate kickback. I don't use resin like that. Like, but I love the brand. I literally love everyone that works at Total Boat. They're the nicest people. They're super helpful. They're always a pleasure to be around. And I just genuinely like the company. And I always will, I will literally advertise for them for free. You know, I'll shout them out and stuff. Because, like, they do right by the community, too. So, like, it does me no harm and it helps everyone. That's the kind of the way I look at it. So it's okay to work with brands for lesser amounts, but, like, don't ever do, like, if you need to do 50 hours of work for someone and you're getting nothing but a 50% off discount at their store, unless you spend $2,000 there, you're not making your money back. Right? Like, because if it's, for example, like a boutique, which I think is one of the places you work with, you're really going to spend that much there. That's going to make it worth it. So you got to think about what your time is worth, because unless you're spending money at their business and they're making money, you're not recouping your time. You're literally not making money in that situation. Unless it's something like a supplier where you're going to have to buy that stuff anyways, and 50% off my lumber is amazing, right? So like that, then you're making money. Then you're actually making money back because that's a supply you need. So look at that and do your pros and cons.
$50 a post. Boom.
Yeah. Actually, honestly, minimum. Yeah. That's $50. And if they're like, well, $50, I could do that, then do it. Why are we talking?
Yeah. Well, you're reaching out to me.
Yeah. You want me to do it, right? So go on Fiverr. Go find someone on Fiverr. Good question. This got me thinking about stuff.
I love the good questions where we get to have like 47 different answers, and then at the end of it, we're like, but don't listen to any of that, or do. It doesn't matter. You fish
it out. It's like a choose your own adventure.
It really is.
But you should have a value for everything you do. Every time your machine runs, you open your mouth to talk to someone on a meeting, like that's all your time.
It's also hard. It's also really hard to deal with the understanding that there's almost always another brand too. So if a brand says like, "Hey, no, we're not willing to do that," cool. Neat. Yeah. Hey, you didn't want to pay me for that drill press video? I'm gonna go ahead and reach out to your competitor and just send them the same thing. So get it while it's hot.
There we go. All right, that's it for questions. Kind of a wrap.
Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Under 2 hours?
Under an hour and 40 minutes, I think, so far.
Wow.
That's great. So, guys, just a reminder, no episode next week because the boys are all going on vacation. I will be working hard in my shop. And, maybe we'll figure something out. Maybe we'll do a little Instagram live with Morgan just to, like, spite the boys. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I'll figure it out.
Wow.
It's not that I'm replacing you. It's just I'm looking at other brands. See what I did there?
Cool. Yeah, well, my rate just went up. So,
Dan, it's nice to know that when everybody's down, the cards are down, the chips are down, Pete kicks.
Hey, I wasn't invited to your shop party today, okay? So
you're always invited.
You're literally always invited.
But I didn't get a text. Oh, did you send it in the Oma Bros chat and I didn't get it?
Yeah, that's it. Crap, anyways, I forget you're not in there.
You guys want to do our the patron and
sorry, I was trying to wet my whistle.
Okay. Wet it.
Big thank you to all of our patrons. You help us keep this ship afloat. And we've lost some oars, but the ship remains floating.
What a weird metaphor.
I know, it's working. My phone is buzzing.
It's fine. It's just Braden and me texting.
Pete's been officially invited to work at your shop tomorrow. So if he doesn't show up, it's on him.
I said I'd love to.
You can go to iloveawp.com, get signed up for our patronage over there. Keep in mind that we are doing patron giveaways every month. This month's patron giveaway is a Bamboo Labs A1 combo. That comes with the AMS, so you can do multicolored prints and all that fancy schmancy stuff. Pete, would you like to say some kind words about other people and things?
Yes, I want to give a huge shout out to WTB Woodworking, Bill Burkle over there. Yeah, he's a big supporter of ours and the community and this region because again, we are in a shortage of woodworking stores that have actual stuff on hand. They actually, I think, just did a demo with Eric Curtis and Shaper, or one is coming up. I do apologize, I don't have that info on me right now. But he's constantly bringing people in to do demos, and when that happens, he does a live.
Oh,
yep.
Eric is in Pennsylvania, and he's in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia of the Philly. That's right.
Huh.
Home of the cheesesteak.
Oh,
I think. Yeah.
That sounds so good right now.
Yeah. It's all about the cheese whiz, which is like a cheese byproduct that they use, which is great.
Oh, I know. I'm very familiar with
I'm very familiar. It's definitely worth checking out if you're in the area, or just check out the website and go pick up some stuff from them. And he's very knowledgeable about all this stuff. So if you have any questions about, hey, what product to use, they've got it all there. And we did forget to mention something that was on the bench that is a great benefit to being a patron of our podcast, and that is we all got 2-for-1 gallons of glue.
That's right.
And we passed the savings on to you because
jugs on jugs.
Keith sent me a link the other day. He's like, I was buying Tight Bond from Home Depot, and I noticed that the 2-pack of 1 gallon was $21.
So 2 gallons.
Yeah, but it was 2 1-gallon jugs, not a 2-gallon jug.
Right.
And the 1 single gallon was also $21. So he's like, I just ordered it. It showed up. The second we confirmed it got ordered, it went into all the MAYker chats, and we sent it out to all our patrons. So
I got the 2-pack of the dark.
Yeah, I got the regular. Honestly, the dark would have been great to grab too. The
dark was $30, but still, for 2 gallons.
Weird though, they're sold out now.
Huh,
crazy. Weird. Yeah, because
if you're one of our patrons, we dropped that in the Discord, and bam.
Yeah, a lot of us ended up buying that stuff. But hey, it was a great deal, right? And you're welcome, Home Depot stock. But
we have an inside at Home Depot. We can't mention who it is, but he said that was not an accident. They knew what they were doing.
Oh, they're probably trying to move old stock. I have to find that video. Someone, I think Keith mentioned Ramon or someone that did a video on like how to read the barcodes or the codes that are like the date codes.
I've seen 100.
Yeah, to see like when the glue was made. So
they're probably just trying to move out that test. They ran a test with pre-dried glue, and it did not do well.
The jugs did feel solid. Huh.
Oh no!
I thought honestly, it was just add water situation.
I might just donate a bottle to someone because I don't need that much. But it was like
to the animal shelter.
No,
I tried to give Braden a jug. He's like, I still got jugs from the last time you got glue.
Yeah, but it was not a bad deal. So, anyways, great benefits for all our patrons, and the I almost said the Slack channel. The work is bleeding over into my life. The Discord channel is alive and well and very busy in there. The chat's always going, so definitely worth joining the Discord. I'm sorry, the Patreon for the Discord. And you guys get to interact with all the other makers in the community and Braden, because me and Dan are terrible about answering in there.
Well, I've been
the Lorax speaks for the trees.
Honestly, I tend to.
I've been preoccupied with other things.
I check in on stuff and I like read about what people said, and I just don't.
I'm looking at it right now. We have 74 members, and there are 11 people online currently.
Always people online. Yep. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. And I think that's it. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Love you all. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you long time.
Bye.
Long time.
Bye.
I'm cutting you all out. I don't
bye.
know why
Dan.
you do that.
Bye.
Very long time.
Stop. And stop. Bye.